Trustee Sitter.
Here.
Trustee Wells is absent. Trustee Wynn.
Here.
We have Attorney Carlos, Mayor Hawker.
Here.
And Clerk McDonald is present.
All right, if you rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first up, we have the public comment on agenda items. Looks like we have an experienced audience tonight, so is there any public comment on agenda items? All right, then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which tonight includes the following items. Approval of the village board regular meeting minutes of June 6th, and the bills presented for payment, the amount of $170,759.95. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Gus, second by Miller. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Miller. Aye. Trustee Sitter.
Aye.
Trustee Wynn.
All right. As I've been out of town for the last 2 weeks, I don't have anything to report except it was warm up north too. Go on to trustee reports. First up, Finance Committee, Trustee Jensen.
Uncharacteristically, I have nothing to report tonight. We will, due to lack of agenda items, we will not have a July Finance Committee meeting.
All right.
That concludes my non-report.
Thank you, sir. Next up, Parks and Rec, Trustee Gust.
No report tonight, Your Honor.
All righty, moving on. Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee, Trustee Wells. And then I'll ask you to introduce this.
Most definitely. So what we have here tonight is a situation, we have an existing business around Sheridan Road at 37889 North Sheridan Road. It's an auto sales facility that they've been running as a rental for quite a few years. The conditional use permit that was originally approved for this included some requirements as far as improvements specifically related to bathroom facilities. They ran into a snag and actually had to change the way that they were going to install the bathroom. That eventually did get approved by the health department with a tank for septic to be stored on site. The improvements have now been completed, and as such, the tenant has sought to purchase the property from the current property owner. In the ordinance, the original ordinance approval did require that a village board vote would be needed in order to transfer the CUP to another party. So what you have drafted for you tonight is an ordinance amending previous ordinances to allow for the transfer in the name and ownership. And then secondly, there was a timeline associated with the improvements. So because all of those improvements had been complete, the timeline would be removed from the CUP. So it would just be held to the typical standards otherwise.
Is this conditional use permit one that is revisited regularly, or is this one that is?
It was set up that way. Again, initially it was given a 1-year timeline, and then it was given a 3-year extension, and then now this, because everything is completed and then everything's in order, it will be removed.
Okay. All right, so we need a motion for an ordinance approving the amendment to conditional use permit for auto sales use at 37889 North Sheridan Road. Moved by Trustee Miller, second by Trustee Gust. Discussion. All right, this is the property immediately south of Clark's Lounge. I'm sorry.
Social Pub, correct.
Yep.
Never changed it.
I called the building over here Kai's Pub the other day. I can't help it.
Like Sears Tower.
All right, no discussion, then we'll move on to roll call, please.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Miller. Aye. Trustee Sitter.
Aye.
Trustee Wynn. Trustee Gus.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, anything further on the Building and Zoning Committee?
Sorry. We'll have some items brought to you at the next village board meeting, 3 items from the last planning commission. Also, you did mention the social pub. They have the permit in to finally get the landscaping that they were supposed to install a few years back, let's say. So they're set to do those improvements within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, moving on to Public Relations and Intergovernmental Committee, Trustee Wynn.
Well, good evening. I had a nice conversation with Trustee Miller this past week. gave me a lot of information on what the committee has done in the past. And so I've got some really good ideas to go forward. Right now, 2/3 of our committee is also Parks and Rec, and we're working on Beach Park Fest. So kind of as soon as that is behind us, then we're going to start public relations.
Right.
But on the Parks and Rec, we're still looking for donations. If there's any businesses that you know of that would like to donate, we've got different kinds of activities and games for adults and children in Beach Park Fest, so we'll use help.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. Public safety, trustee Siddick.
Thank you. We are looking to coordinate a public safety meeting coming up for July. Are we still working on, do we have a set date yet? Did you get back from California?
No, not yet.
Okay, all right, so
Okay.
we're working, we're in the process of that right now, so as
Okay.
soon as we get that date, then we'll be able to take care of that. Does the sheriff's department have anything for us?
No, I addressed some of the complaints from last meeting.
Okay,
I did address the Binding Brook complaint with our officers, have been working on that. The ordinance on the Beach Greenway Road was taken care of. The ATV complaint that came in the other day, I have a youth in place on that as well for the Founders Park, looking for that ATV, all the shifts really.
right,
And worked on that issue that you had.
okay, great, thank you very much. So, what, over on Bonnie Brook then, was that just like some extra patrol or something that was set up?
Yes, I asked the afternoon, Beach Park cars to make sure they're patrolling that. Same with the day shift. Beach Park cars to patrol Bonnie Brook and Frolic, look for speeders and stop sign violations.
Great, thank you very much. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
And that concludes our report.
I have a question, if I could. Deputy, you mentioned the ATV, that problem we've been having at Founders Park. Did you say all shifts are watching for that?
Yes, I put it out to all shifts.
Okay.
Usually it says between 6 to 8 PM. You never know, so it's better if we,
Right.
our officers have the time, especially on midnight, if they have the time, they're usually in Beach Park most of the time. They will sit in Founders Park watching or drive around. Afternoon car and day shift car are aware as well, just in case they get a little itch to kick the ATV out at different times, we'll be looking.
Okay, we appreciate your help.
And if any of the residents get information of color or type of anything distinguishing about the ATV or the riders, let our office know so we can kind of narrow down that search.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yep.
Okay, because there was a kind of a dangerous situation the other night. There was 2 games going at the same time, and the ATV was right out in the middle of everybody. You know, yeah,
That's not good.
no, thank you, though.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, trustee Miller.
Public Works will have something probably for the next board meeting. Yes, we did meet the other night, and some things weren't ready for tonight, but they will be in 2 weeks. Paving is going forward. Yes, we're waiting for some things to be completed, and the contractor is,
Yes, they were back out today and started milling again today, and they're hoping to be paving early next week, so they're making some progress.
so we're well enough time to be sure our projects will be done.
At this point, if the weather doesn't go horribly well, that should be fine.
Yeah. About all that could happen is a flash flood, but you know. Okay, yes, that's it for Public Works.
Okay, thank you. We have no report from the TIF committee as it has not met. We've got staff reports. We have a reduction in liquor licenses.
Yes, ma'am. Liquor license were all just renewed as of July 1st, and Mexican restaurant just up the road here in Wadsworth, the owner decided not to renew the license. There are interested parties in purchasing the restaurant and reopening it sometime down the road, but essentially he's abandoned his license, it did not renew, so as our code requires, reduce the number of J's by 1. So that's what the ordinance is for, to reduce that from 4 to 3.
Okay. Yeah, and to clear up, it's not 43. It's 4. That 4 is actually struck out.
I tried a million ways to do that.
And the 30 is the new number. When I first looked at it, I'm like, no, we don't have 43 Class J licenses. We're not Harvard. All right. With that, I need a motion and a second.
Second.
By trustee Gus, second by trustee Miller. Discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Trustee Miller? Aye. Trustee Siddick? Trustee Wynn?
Aye.
Trustee Gus?
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, I see no old or new business. Is there anybody that has new business for the good of the board?
I took a ride on the elevator.
I did too. I actually said we while it was going down, and I started thinking,
I was disappointed there's no music yet, though.
well, no, but I think we could probably put a bill changer in there and get a buck a ride for it. So of 60,000 rides a year, we'll get it paid off in 5 years. Oh, wait, it wasn't that much.
I'm really glad we were able to get that done.
Yeah.
That was something we had been working on for quite some time.
Oh, yeah, 30 years in the coming. So, very good. All right, now is time. Alan, citizens addressing the board? I don't know why, I'm assuming you want to talk to us, but here you are.
Alan Hutchins. I'm sure you guys can guess one here. Just want to reiterate the fact that, we're still having issues over on Beach Road.
Turn your mic.
Is that better? Oh, I can hear myself now. I just want to reiterate the fact that we're still having issues on Beach Road. I know I came last week, we talked about some of the issues that were ongoing. I'm glad to get it cleared up that there's no intergovernmental agreement in place which allows the Park District to run staff on the road and block traffic, which is what happened to me last week and many times before that. But like I say, it's not getting any better over there. It's getting worse. Even this last weekend, I experienced the same thing, inability to get off my street. It took me 15 minutes to get off on Saturday morning. Couldn't leave. Hard to get back on. I know I share the same frustrations with other residents. I talked to residents that are on Bayonne. They're having the same issue. And then I've actually been home. I'm sure some of you guys know I welcomed a new son into the world, and I've been spending some time at home with my wife. And part of that is being able to be outside with my other two children, my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old. And on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I went outside, and my 4-year-old runs up to me and goes, "Hey, what's this?" And he brings me a empty glass fifth of vodka. And I said, "Where did you get that?" "It was in our yard." So just off the road. So, like I say, not only, and this is to we're talking about a facility that's supposed to be a no alcohol, no drugs, no cigarettes facility. But this is the type of clientele that they're dealing with, and this is the type of behavior that they're allowing to continue over there. And this is the type of behavior that we are allowing to consume our neighborhood, my neighborhood. And so it's just another documented issue of reasons why we shouldn't let this continue. I do want to see what we can do to start addressing on a weekly or biweekly or meeting basis. I'm happy to hear that we're having another safety committee meeting. I'll absolutely be attending those as long as they're public. I'm very interested in setting up an official neighborhood watch. I've got some people that are interested in doing that. Unfortunately, like I say, every time I talk to the people in my neighborhood, I encourage them to come to these meetings, but I don't seem to be getting the turnout that I'm looking for. But rest assured, the issues are there. The people do share our gripes. So, but yeah, like I say, I would like to see something official come in here, whether it's whatever committee it ends up under. But I would like to very much revisit the one-way scenario over there, because I know that Wadsworth implemented the one-way over there to prevent people from traveling inbound, and that would not limit access to the park. It would just make it very inconvenient for them to access the park, and it would start to do things to make it so that the situation, it would make more sense for them to try and put their own access in, which is what's the solution here. That's what needs to happen. So, that being said, I again respect the position of what you guys have here, but help us. We're still suffering. This marks the 10th anniversary. 2025 is the 10th anniversary, 10 years, 1 decade of me coming here and asking for help. My 2-year-old at the time is now 12. He's 12. He had to endure his entire single-digit childhood not able to being able to ride his bicycle on our street. And it's sad. So like I say, I still have other kids. There's kids in 4 out of the 5 houses. There's special needs kids in 2 out of those 5 houses, and we don't deserve it. So please, let's take some action. Let's figure out what we need to do to remove the threat from the neighborhood. That's what we're after. So.
I have a question for you, Ellen. Are you still visiting the Waukegan Park District meetings? I know in the past we have.
So
Gotten any response and cooperation from them?
no, I haven't been to the Waukegan Park District meetings in quite a while. Executive Director Lerner from the Park District instructed his staff not to speak to me. And so even when I'm at the park, if I see the staff and I ask them a question, they will literally turn their head the other way and refuse to talk to me. So it probably doesn't do much good for me to go to the meeting, so.
Have you reached out to, I do believe, somebody on our staff level, had some names of some of the folks in town that are still involved with the Neighborhood Watch.
Sure. Nobody's reached out to me yet. Is that through the Sheriff's Department or through the community?
Yeah, the Sheriff's Department helped us set that up years ago, and there's still some active, community members that are still involved with that.
From Beach Park?
Yeah.
Sure. Do we know?
For different areas of town, I know the Sheriff's Department had a list of names too that they would keep in contact with. In all areas of the village, there was somebody, and they were reaching out to our liaison for the Sheriff's Department. And the Sheriff's Department was just informing them of things that were going on, whether it was cars that were being broken into, because that way those folks in town were actually reaching out to their neighbors, email, text message, whatever.
Sure.
To let them know that, okay, we got somebody coming through blocking car doors.
That's excellent. I would love to get the trickle down into us, but I can tell you that as far as the Neighborhood Watch structure goes, I am acting as the Neighborhood Watch contact over there, and my neighborhood does come to me in that regard. So the whole structure is set up.
Yeah, so you need to be introduced to some of the other folks.
Sure.
That way they can add you to their email list. And
I'd love that.
Contact with them as well.
Yeah. You know, one other comment too, and just if you guys, I know I had sent a video over to Trustee Wynn. I don't know if you shared that, but if you can, if you'd like. But one of the other things that I started doing on our street is whenever there's cars backed up to a dead stop and I can talk to those people because they're not moving, I started saying, hey, are you happy about what's going on here? Are you frustrated? And they're like, oh, they're mad. I get swear words, whatever. And I'm like, do me a favor, go on Google, just leave them a Google review and write about how your experience is. So if you guys get a free minute, you should go on Google and read some of the experiences that people are having in that facility over there. It's eye-opening. So,
Wow, I hear them.
yeah. Well, no, I mean, so I was talking about the people that are attending the facility. So things like, this is the worst facility in the Midwest. These are things that have been written on there and specifically calling out the parking and traffic issues.
Yeah.
So the people who are the patrons to the park are just as upset as the residents are. So, but at any rate, I appreciate the information about the Neighborhood Watch. Is that something I can, through you or through him?
Yeah, I think, I want to say Tracy, I thought, had the list.
There's
And the Sheriff's
a
Department also had.
Trustee Wells is also pretty well versed on that. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but he was instrumental for quite a while in the Neighborhood Watch and National Night Out and all that, so.
I know he's on the west side of town over there. Is that cover kind of our area too, or do you know if there's somebody that's more close to? I know I'm kind of in a
They
very,
tend to be neighborhood
yeah.
contained, so, but it doesn't hurt to have connections
Yeah, I
with
know
the others.
There's two ladies on the east side of town that were involved,
Yeah.
and a couple of them had moved away.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, there's no overage, or, too much communication, I guess, when it comes to that, especially when it's information sharing about keeping people safe. So,
Okay.
Alan, have you been to any of the Park District meetings yourself?
not recently. I've been to the Park District meetings in the past, so I've tried to do something as simple as trying to get the schedule for the facility, just to see if I could schedule myself to be away on the days that were heavy days, and they won't give it to me. I even tried to FOIA the schedule, and they refused to give it to me.
It's not available on their website?
Nope. They have a schedule on there, but it's essentially blank. And then they schedule events, and they say, oh, well, this was just scheduled. But I would say it's probably been 2 years since I've been to a park meeting. But like I say, it became pretty apparent when I was attending those meetings. And when I was attending even the planning and zoning meetings for the city of Waukegan, when they were trying to put that Top Golf facility in over there, that the city of Waukegan doesn't want to deal with anything that's going on here because they don't see that it's their problem. And the Park District has zero interest in changing anything. As far as they're concerned, what's going on over there is the way they want it to be for the next 100 years. And they don't want to lift a finger or spend a dollar, and they're aware of the issues. We've sent the same pictures, we've sent the same videos, they've received the same traffic information, the same, just as a refresher, I know it's not here, but we took the information off the Sheriff's Department sign from, I think it was late 2023 in September or something, and we were showing more than 1,000 cars a day down our road, which is more than what we were showing on the Talmadge issue, even when the road was blocked last summer. And of those, they showed about, it was about 80 cars a day that were above 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. So speed limit on our road is 30, so that would be 80 cars a day over 50 miles an hour. And I can tell you that that's still the truth, because the speed board is out there right now, and I watch the speeds as the people go down the street. So I wish there was a way to work with the Park District to try and come up with an answer, but it seems like they've dug their heels in such a way that they're not interested. The only way that we'll ever see measurable change is if this board, this entity, forces it. So.
Do they let you get up and speak?
So they have a 2-minute time limit there, and a couple of times I did get up and I tried to spend my 2 minutes there, but like I said, it didn't matter the words that I used. It fell upon deaf ears, and I've tried to actually call everybody. I've called Waukegan's 8th Ward Alderman. I forget what her name is right off the.
Florian?
Yeah, yes, Lynn Florian, exactly. And I spoke to her. I called 3 or 4 times. I asked her to come out. I asked her to come meet me. I wanted to talk about the issue that was going on over there, and she never did. She said she would call me back, and then she didn't. I've spoken to our Lake County Board Representative, Diane Hewitt. I had Diane Hewitt. I've talked to her many times, and it's actually interesting. She agrees with us, the way we see it, that was a temporary situation over there. And she actually told me she was in attendance at the meeting where the Park District said that was going to be a temporary entrance over there, but she didn't feel like she needed to reiterate that on the public platform. So, but she did say that was the way that she remembered it going too. So we reached out to them. So, like I say, City of Waukegan, we reached out to the Park District, we reached out to the County Board, we reached out to the Alderman. Shy of state representatives, I'm not sure who else to call.
Well, we have a new mayor now.
In Waukegan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
New old mayor.
Yeah, what is the mayor's name again?
Cunningham.
Sam Cunningham.
So very interestingly, like I said, it's not story time here, but I spoke to Cunningham one time as he was traveling down the road to head to the park. This was about 8 years ago when I was very early on there. And he was very upset that I was, basically upset that the cars were going very fast. And he told me to go back to my house. And I said, I actually live here. And I said, what is your name? He said, my name's Sam Cunningham, and I'm going to this park. And I said, why don't you come over here and talk to me? I said, I'm really interested if you are who you say you are. And he got back in his car and left. And I've never heard from him again. Again, that was many years ago. So. But
Okay. All right.
Well, at any rate,
Appreciate this.
the wrap up is still issues, still need help. Please help.
I don't think it would hurt to go back to a Park District meeting.
I mean, we can.
2 minutes.
Yeah, not me though. Not me. So I would love to see that happen, but I think that I'm probably not the right person for that. So, but anyway, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We have no cause for an executive session tonight.
In which case, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
Well, I have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Stay all night? We're adjourned. Thank you.